have been kidnapped, me and my kids. Today will be a worse day than 9/11 attack. This is an act of war.
This very hostile Muslim attacked a group of Jews for no reason whatsoever, all because they were having a peaceful protest to remember the tragic losses of people in Israel from Hamas. And because of this, he decided to go ahead and violently, aggressively go ahead and attack them and even throw forms of weapons that he created himself. This is wild, guys.
We're here, brother. We're here. We can't do nothing about that. We can't do nothing.
We can!
Not here.
We have to end Zionist!
Not here, bro.
You're right.
People are taking video right now.
We have to end Zionist!
He was wearing an orange suit with like something on his back.
Spraying alcohol,
Spraying
too.
alcohol, but what he did was he made it look like he was here.
He's making Molotov cocktails.
Palestine and for us,
Well, we can't do it when he's got Molotov cocktails in
if
his
you are fighting.
There's literally, guys, fire and ashes on the floor, and they can't even get anywhere near him because he literally has Molotov cocktails in his hand, which can be used as a flammable weapon. This is insane, guys.
We're fucking God.
Stay.
Wow.
my gun with me, I'll do it.
Wow, guys. This is actually insane. This is actually insane. And this is in Colorado, our back doors. It's really crazy to think about because Colorado, something like this would have not happened just 10, 15, 20 years ago. But it's happening in 2025. And to make it worse, this isn't just happening in Colorado, guys. This is happening around the world. But where it gets very interesting is, were we actually warned about this attack? Because if you guys don't know, just recently, like a few days ago, like a week or two ago, there was a lady in the airport and she was actually very, very terrified. And for some reason, people called it off as a joke, which I don't think is a joke. She was literally claiming that she was kidnapped and forced to expose a terror attack in Denver airport. And this literally happened a week to 2 weeks after this lady mentioned it. So let's go ahead and see what she has to say.
Thank you. I have to finish this. My kid's life in danger if I didn't say this. I have been kidnapped, me and my kids. Today will be a worse day than 9/11 attack. This is an act of war.
So 2 points here. That lady is at Denver International Airport, so I wanted to point that out for one. Two, I worked at that airport less than 60 days ago. I was a third-party contractor doing HVAC in the the rafters and stuff. So I've been in that airport, A, B, and C terminal, in the rafters, underneath the terminals, in the freaking the little hallways and stuff that they have. Never heard or seen anything like this. So Denver International, you need to literally get your shit together and investigate it, because as somebody who's worked at the airport on and off for years, that shit is outlandish and I've never seen it. And she's making some pretty fucking serious claims. So to the employees that are just going to brush it off, and I know there are some that work there that just do that shit, you need to investigate the shit, because it's not fucking nothing to be played with. She's making some serious claims, and if we aren't prepared, hello, we've been caught with our pants down once. What makes you think we can't be shown again?
And you know what's crazy about this? What if this is just step one of a terror attack? What if this isn't the finale itself? What if there's another 9/11 catastrophic level type of an event? Do you guys understand where I'm going here? This is a very serious warning from this lady. And in no way is she claiming to be some sort of prophetess or anything like that. To my knowledge, she was just some lady that quite literally said that she was forced to give this message. A week or two later, we have some Islamicists burning up some peaceful Jewish festival. And it's just so weird and off, right? It just all of a sudden came out of nowhere. Here's right now what they're saying they're going to do about it.
A suspect was pointed out to our officers on the scene. Our officers immediately encountered that suspect, who was taken into custody without incident. That suspect, who I'm not able to ID at this time, was taken to the hospital with some minor injuries as well. And there's a lot more we're investigating right now before I'm able to release information on that person.
But this is the reality whenever you follow a false prophet like Prophet Mumu, right? Because Prophet Mumu teaches you to go ahead and go to war with all of your enemies. Anyone who doesn't follow Islam is an enemy. Whether they're the Christians, whether they're the Jews, whether they're anybody else that's not a Muslim or doesn't agree with Islamic values, they are your enemy. And so this is not even a religion. This is a militarized tactic and guise of a religion to go ahead and conquer the world. They want world domination, guys. But it gets worse again, guys, because like I said, this is actually happening in Paris, and over 500 of these Islamicists and protesters have been arrested in Paris.
2 people have died and 559 arrested during Champions League final celebrations in Paris. This comes after Paris Saint-Germain won their first ever European Champions League football final, soundly beating Inter Milan 5-0 in Munich.
Well, this information that 2 people have lost their lives is coming from the French police and the French Interior Ministry. We don't have a lot of details, but we do know that a 17-year-old was stabbed to death in the Dax town area, and that was during those celebrations. Local media reporting that it is a 17-year-old boy. Meanwhile, a man who was driving a scooter was hit by a car in the southwest of Paris. French media saying that that is a 20-year-old man.
Guys, I don't care if he's 20, 17, 18, 19, 22. He's still young. And first of all, and second of all, he's still a human being. He could be 80 years old or 3 years old, guys. I mean, this is just really sad what's going on with the whole Islamic propaganda and how they're considered the religion of peace, especially by a bunch of ignorant Westerners somehow. And they still see them as these allies that just want to innocently come in our nation and migrate here and help our nation when they're really not. They're quite literally, it literally looks like a war zone, guys. If you guys go to Paris, France right now, it looks like a war zone. I remember growing up as a kid and looking at people from Europe, and I was like, man, these people are very posh. They have royalty over there. They have the Queen of England. I mean, these are just the images you have as a kid growing up, especially coming from the West too. And it's just funny now thinking about it rhetorically, because whenever you look at what's going on, it's really sad. It literally looks like a dystopian war zone land after World War III or something. Like, look at this next video I'm about to show you guys. This right here is insane. This is the result of years of propaganda, guys. Look at all of these masked hoodlums walking around Paris like it's all good, guys. Very, very disgusting, guys. But this is what Islam will do to your nation if you allow them to. And right now, Paris is facing complex issues largely tied to homelessness and migration. And migration is increasing the number of homelessness in Paris. And it's really, really sad, guys. This is genuinely a result called a social cleansing, guys. Very, very disgusting how people are just allowing this to happen and come into our nations. Very, very sick. And this is why I, as a Christian, reject Islam and follow Jesus Christ, guys. We must reject Islam. We must reject what it brings. There's no such thing as a peaceful Muslim, guys. If a Muslim is peaceful, it's either A, because they're ignorant and they're not truly a Muslim, or B, they're lying to you. Because if they're truly, genuinely a Muslim, they're not peaceful. And you better believe it, guys. When they get higher in numbers, these Muslims will attempt to try to take over our nation, guys. Because that is currently what's happening right now. And it's very, very sad. So we must reject Islam, follow Jesus Christ. Thank you guys so much for watching. And don't forget to follow Jesus Christ, true monotheism, and reject this polytheism from false prophet Mumu.